LEGO Star Wars in 2024 is starting off with a banger of a set. That set being Set 75372, Clone Trooper and Battle Droids Battle Pack. Over the last week or so, we have seen official images which leaked from a toy company over in Europe, as well as in-hand images and reviews from the likes of M&R Productions, Hello There Rex and Lifebricks. However, it's important to note that the first in-hand images did come from Bamfabricks over on Instagram. So in today's video, we are going to be taking a look at the first leaked images. So first off, we have the front of the box showing off that amazing box art, which I believe is taking place on Christophsis, which was seen in the first Clone Wars movie. And my first impressions are that this set is just amazing, and it also confirms that the rumours were true for this set, from the minifigure selections to all of the different builds. But first off, let's take a look at those minifigures. So this set does include 4 clone troopers and 5 battle droids, 2 of which being 2 B1 battle droids and 3 of which being B2 battle droids. But first off, let's take a look at those clones. So first off, we've got the clone shock trooper. Now this is the exact same one that's released in the Coruscant Guard gunship that released in September 1st of 2023. Next up, we have 3 brand new minifigures, those figures being the P2 regular clone troopers. Now this is the first time since 2014 that we've had these clone troopers, so this is basically 10 years in the making, and I do really love the look of these clone troopers. The one downside, however, and everyone's been talking about this till the end of the day, but that is those helmet holes, and unfortunately these all 4 of these clone troopers are going to have those helmet holes. So if you don't mind them, no need to complain. If you do, you do have options out there, such as Grandpa Clone Customs, things that I have bought, which I genuinely do recommend because his products are top notch and they are a brilliant substitute replacement for your clone trooper helmets. But the regular 3 clone troopers have exactly the same torso and body from the P1 clone troopers that released in early 2022. So the only thing that's different is those helmets. Now moving on to the 2 B1 battle droids, the mold has been unchanged since 1999, the first year of LEGO Star Wars. The B1 battle droids are just an amazing character. Some people don't class them as minifigures, I do, however. They're just a brilliant little minifigure, you can't go wrong. Technically, there are 2 different versions in this set, as one of them has 2 straight arms and one of them has 2 sideways arms, which usually one has 1 straight arm and one has 1 sideways arm. But that is because one is meant to go on the included stab speeder and one is meant to be opening the crate with the little detonators inside, as well as holding a blaster to shoot at those clone troopers. Now moving on to one of the more important parts of this LEGO Star Wars set, and that is those 3 super battle droids. Now, this is a brand new mold in comparison to one that we last saw in 2015. As you can see, the torso has been changed up a bit, especially if you look at the sizes of the heads compared to the old one and the new one. You can see where the little droid head is. You see how that's much slimmer, more defined. A lot of the detailing and the lines on the torso again is more slimmer, it's more defined, which is nice. The clips for the legs and the arms appear to be bigger, so hopefully they won't crack as much over the time. And you can see in the top right of the torso on the chest, you can see that there is a little dot which is supposed to represent the little camera, the little red dot in the movies. Now unfortunately it's not printed or anything, but it's a nice that LEGO have gone out of their way to add these little details, because these are what our figures need and they really shouldn't be turning out like the clone troopers. I do really love the clone troopers, but they're on the verge of greatness, but they're just not quite there. But overall, those minifigures are amazing. Getting this set in the US is going to be $30, and in the UK it's going to be £25. 9 minifigures for £25 or $30 is an absolute steal nowadays, especially with the price of clone troopers, considering you only got 6 clone troopers for the same price a couple of years ago with the 501st Battle Pack. But overall, this is a brilliant set in terms of minifigures. The minifigures are almost perfect, just being a little bit shy with those helmet holes on those clone troopers. Now let's move on to the builds. Like I said in the beginning of this video, the rumors are true, and that stays especially apparent for the build, as we get a clone speeder bike that can seat 2 clone troopers, a clone defensive post, as well as a droid stab speeder, and then finally the magnum opus build of this set, the Octuptara Tri-Droid. Now I hope I said that right, I think I have, but I'm not too sure. And these builds are pretty nice, especially that Octuptara Tri-Droid as well as that droid stab speeder. In terms of the separatist side of this LEGO Star Wars Super Battle Pack, it's brilliant. I have heard that there is a small version of that Octuptara Tri-Droid, like a similar size version in the actual Clone Wars, which is means that it's accurate, and it's been seen in like the prequels as well, which means that that build is accurate, which is very nice to see, and it's not just a scaled down build like battle pack builds usually are. As well as that droid stat speeder, perfectly designed, it's a nice build. The only thing that I'd like to see is a printed Separatist logo on that little cheese slope underneath the gun turrets on it, which it would have been nice, but you can't have everything. In terms of the clone troopers side, the builds are a little bit lackluster, and that speeder bike especially. I'm sure when I have it in hand, it's going to be a bit better, but overall it still sort of feels kind of small, like a 4+ build. You know, it doesn't feel like a full speeder bike build, especially compared to the speeder bikes we've had in the Bad Batch shuttle, and especially the 501st battle pack, even going back to clone battle packs in 2008, in 2010, in 2011. Those speeder bikes were so much better. I do like it, but it's just not up to par. As well as that clone defensive post, it is erring on the smaller side of builds, but overall it still looks pretty nice, and I like that it's got the stud shooter, a place for the blasters, as well as those shields which are removable and that you can use with these clone troopers. Now, however, these builds do look bad in a sense, and they don't really look up to par, especially with the 2022, 2023, 2024 climate of Lego Star Wars. However, if you go back and take a look at the original clone battle pack, these builds are a clear representation and a callback to that battle pack, and that's where it gets a pass from me, because these are just modern versions of those builds, you know, and I think that's what Lego is trying to go for in this set. Have a combination of droids and clones, a versus type battle pack, sort of like they did back in the day with the two separate ones. This is all just bundled into one, and I love the faithful recreations of those, that speeder and that clone defensive post. You know, if that original battle pack builds didn't exist today, these builds would be absolutely hated on, but that's the only thing these builds have got going for them, and for that reason I do really like their inclusion. Now, taking a look at the back of that box, you can see again some more of the clones in different positions, the battle droids, the battle droid on the stat speeder, the Octoptara tri-droid in all of its glory, especially using those flick fire missiles. You can see firing them in the middle, and then in the top right you can see that again, see the clone trooper holding the shield up, shooting the stud shooter. And overall this is a really nice Lego set, especially for the builds and the clone troopers and the returning of the super battle droids. This is a really nice Lego set, and any Clone Wars fan is going to be happy to have this as part of their collection. And finally, we just have an image of the build up against a white background, and overall I'm really happy with this Lego Star Wars set, and especially for 2024, this is starting the year off strong with such a nice Lego set. From all those 4 clone troopers to the return of the super battle droids, as well as just 2 B1 battle droids, you can't complain. This is a nice Lego set, a good army builder for anyone, and it's what people have been wanting for years. It's a good way to start the year off for Lego Star Wars, and I hope the Lego sets continue to be just as good or better. But overall, those were my thoughts on set 75372, Clone Trooper and Battle Droid Battle Pack. Let me know what you guys think of this in the comments, and this is going to be my return back into making content again, so after this, expect at least 2 to 3 videos a week. I'm going to try to do daily, but with working 4 days a week, you know, 30 hours on top of this, it's going to be a bit difficult, but I'm getting back into it. Anyway, my name's been George, and take care, guys.